wider scoreline than you probably felt was fair in the end. Maybe we could be pretty proud of the performance today.
Yeah, really proud. I thought the lads were outstanding. To stick in the game till the very end. Liverpool had to bring on every superstar that they had on the bench to make sure that they got over the line. I thought, what the lads did, the discipline out possession, the game plan that we put together to make it as difficult as possible. The lads did that, to a T. Got a little bit tired towards the end, obviously, and conceded that third and fourth, which I felt like the kind of scoreline we didn't really deserve. But I thought overall, our lads were outstanding.
To come to Anfield and hit the post after 30 seconds or whatever, obviously set down a bit of a marker for the performance, but obviously could have been different maybe if that had just gone in. Yeah,
I thought we started the game so well. I thought they needed an unbelievable strike to kind of settle them down a little bit, and if that goes in, and maybe it can turn out to be a little bit different. But even with that not going in, I thought like the way we handled ourselves, the occasion under the lights at Anfield, the hunger and desire that the lads showed to go long spells throughout the game. And I knew coming into the game that would happen because they're a top team obviously, and we'd have to suffer at times. But the lads' focus and concentration without the ball, I thought was at a really high level, and they've got to take big confidence from that.
Your thoughts on the goal you did score? It was a very strange one, but a great moment for Adam for them setting the goal.
Yeah. Look, first and foremost, it's such an amazing kind of feeling for Adam, for Philo. Scoring up in front of the Kop, Liverpool fan, come up through the academy, I thought was outstanding for him. Something that he looked back on for so many years of his career, of his life, and always say that he scored at the Kop end, which is something that many people don't do. I was a little bit disappointed with their player, if I'm honest. I thought it was a bit disrespectful. I don't think he does that against Chelsea. Don't think he does that against Arsenal. Don't think he does that in the Champions League game. Unbelievable little feeling and buzz for Adam, obviously, but a little bit of a lack of respect from their players' point of view.
Did you feel a penalty on Reyes in the second half?
Yeah, potentially. Look, I thought at the time it was a stonewall penalty. Looking back at it now, obviously from the broadcast point of view, seeing it after the game, the player probably does get a little bit of a touch on the ball, but at the same time you could see that he's got into that panic mode. Reyes has got across him, pulling his shirt a little bit, and it was easily a decision that could have went our way. I thought it was a big moment in the game. 2-1, was it around the 65th minute, something like that, and you never know obviously what can happen after that. So it was a big decision that just didn't quite go for us.
How much can you take from the defensive effort, the blocks and the tackles and the organisation he had to take into the league form as well?
Yeah, exactly that, Doug. Yeah, look, I think we obviously had a different approach tonight in terms of the way we set up, and that we had to put a game plan in place to try and keep us in the game for as long as possible. And one of the things that we've probably struggled with this year is obviously the goals that we concede. But I've seen now against a top team that the lads can do it. They can defend their box, they can block shots, they can head it clear, they can defend set plays, and we need to take that into the league now. So I've saw it firsthand here at a big environment with top class footballers, and we need to take that kind of mentality now into the league as well, particularly defending our box, because if we get that side right, I think we'll pick up points.
Great response from your fans as well.
Yeah, amazing. Look, I think at the end there, it gives everyone that buzz, that energy. That there's that connection between fans and players. They were so proud of the lads' efforts tonight. I was, and we deservedly got clapped off by them. And I think, look, they can all go home tonight with that energy that they've got a group of players here that are willing to do anything to get results.
Lastly for me, really sad for Josh Hill to miss the match. Just tell us about his injury and how long it might be.
Yeah, it's a bit of a freak one for Josh, if I'm honest. Really disappointing. He did press on Friday, expecting to play the game. Liverpool fan, big occasion for him. And just got a freak injury in training. Planted his foot just like you'd plant it millions of times, and he's ended up cracking a bone in his foot. So really disappointing for him, for the squad, for me, because he's a big player for us. And you get one of them freak injuries once a season, and unfortunately for him, it was him on Friday in training.
Any times going on?
Just for the foreseeable, I think.
Thank you, Colin.
Cheers.
Colin, how important can this be when you're playing catch-up in the second half of the season in terms of the belief of the players?
Yeah, we have to take big courage and belief from it. Obviously we're so many games in hand against the teams above us now, and we've obviously just got the league form now to focus on. We've got such a busy schedule from kind of Reading onwards. We play Blackpool, then Reading, and then we're literally Saturday, Tuesday for about 6 weeks. So yeah, we need to take big courage, big energy, big belief from this performance tonight and take it into that busy schedule ahead.
And obviously you put a lot of focus on the development of players, a lot of young players out there tonight. Just how much will they have gained from this experience? Yeah,
loads. Look, I think with the players we had out there tonight, Vimal, Blandy, Reyes, Patrick Kelly, obviously come on. We're really fortunate to have them. The way they've developed since the start of the season has been really exciting for everyone, and it's a real big bonus and a positive for the club's point of view and from my point of view. The belief now that they'll have after testing it against the top players in the country. They need to kick on now with their careers even more so, and have that fire in the belly even more to know that they can rise to the occasion, because that's a big thing to have, whether you play in Blackpool or Exeter or Anfield away. To know you have the mentality to be able to perform at this level is something that should kick them on even more.
When we talk about their development, what will this mean for yours as a coach?
Look, I suppose it's probably something that I can take away from the game, that I know how to put a game plan together against in a situation that I know that it won't look like what the league feels like. You try and have long spells with the ball, and how you attack and how you score in League One. And obviously tonight was a different viewpoint completely. We had to be really disciplined without the ball, and mid to low block and suffer at times. So we had to approach the game a little bit different. Had 4 or 5 days to put that game plan in place. So I know from my point of view that I can set up a team in the league or in a way that might come up against better opposition. So that's a big confidence booster for myself as well.
Connor, after everything that tonight has entailed, how difficult though is it to get the lads just to refocus ahead of that game against Blackpool at the weekend?
Yeah, I think we have to do it. I think, look, big efforts tonight. The lads need to recover now physically and mentally from it. And get themselves up for a game at the weekend. It's not always time that you'll get Anfield under the lights as a buzz. So our fundamentals are in the league, and we need to regroup now and refocus and re-energise ourselves heading into Blackpool. And look, the confidence should be really, really high going into that game off the back of the performance tonight.
I imagine that as much as anything, it's emotion that will be taken out of the lads tonight.
Yeah, emotion. Mentally, physically, they'll want to have put in a big effort to make themselves proud and their families proud and the club proud, and it shows to me tonight that they can go the extra yard for everyone involved. So we just need to regroup a little bit now and refocus and recover and be ready for the weekend.
So many big performances tonight as well, but Reyes was named player of the match. I just wonder what you made of his performance tonight as well, because obviously he's still 21? Yeah,
outstanding. Yeah, look, he's developed really well since the summer. Took him a couple of months to get up to speed in terms of League One level. Started playing, a couple of months ago now. Was putting consistent performances, which has, got him the plaudits that he's got. So yeah, it just goes to show that when you have a plan in place to develop these young lads, and you put the trust in these guys to go out and perform and play and develop them, it's a really good place for young players to be.
Cheers, Rob.
All right, thank you. Cheers.